To represent the mapping of the requirements, we made this diagram that represents the flow of actions that ensure the modules divided into the requirements on which the app works, in such a way that each module performs or can perform its assigned task in the correct way. However, it should not be confused, since for some modules that work on a requirement, the action of another must have been fulfilled. This because this is the follow-up flow. Since, for example, the calendar table cannot be represented without before a session has been started, or a search cannot be performed in a messaging if a home with an interface has not been generated before. It is so that each module is an independent, but requires a prior action flow to be carried out.
The project documentation is saved in the repository, in the folder named Documentation. The Dartor software was used to automatically generate the documentation. It saved the comments that were written in each module as part of the documentation. As we can see, it is the system documentation. The great modules are listed here. Each module has its constructor, properties, and method used. Let's look at the database example. Let's see inside that the database service constructor, properties like client collection, and methods like add conversation messages were used, each of which is shown as they were implemented in the code.
To represent modularity, we decided to make a document on it, but due to the requested characteristics, we believe that it would be more convenient to carry out two versions of the document. First, there is a version that contains a section on simplified modularity in requirements and folders, in such a way that each requirement has a series of folders and modules that make it work. Therefore, this document represents as contained within the code all those modules that make the application work, in such a way that they can be listed for their function and for the requirement to which they belong. On the other hand, the second version of the document has a small description of each module added, in such a way that a systematic link can be made between all the modules, with the inputs and outputs described in an understandable way, in such a way that it can be understood because each module works in the requirements in which it belongs.
Well, in the development process, we can notice the metric and in there the properties that we had to make for all requirements. can owe as we wanted, or rather, as the client wanted. Within the individual progress report by the library, we each wrote down the action we did throughout the project. We ever wrote down every little detail we did to learn the Dart programming language, its function package until we had to borrow knowledge for it. We also wrote down what we had to do to perform synchronization with the Firebase database. Finally, we arrive at the general contribution report. In this case, we base it on the measured objective elements, such as the team meeting, the prototypes we made until we reached our only objective, which was the implementation of the requirements. And as you can see, we qualify each for the action we did throughout this progress.
Now we will demonstrate the system demo with the requirement already implemented. First, we will show the user registration requirement. On register, user must go to the register module to create an account. There they enter their name, email, and password, and depending on the type of user, they give the button to register or register as administrator. For user of the administrator type, they must enter a password to access the administrator interface. After the account has been created, users should only log in by just entering the email and password in the login module.